This show is starting to be a bit of a struggle to get through. Hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator, and welcome back to Total Party Skills. So I'm bundling episodes 5, 6, and 7 into one review because, other than just describing things I witnessed in the episodes, which would supposedly, I guess, verify that I saw the episode, even though one could easily watch other people's reviews on YouTube or look at Wikipedia or IMDb or anything else to get a basic episodic summary and pretend to have watched it. But I did for real, because I'm getting really tired of all this lineage politics bullshit. It needs something else going on. I get that the source material, the book Fire and Blood or whatever, that this show is adapting was basically just a family history of the Targaryens. And, that might have been a mistake in the long term, because it's just nothing but succession politics. And I find myself craving anything, like a good involved war plot. They did the whole thing with the crab chief, crab master, crab man, crab rangoon, as I've been calling him. And that didn't really go far, last long, or get too in depth as to what the actual stakes were, who the bad guy was, or anything. So, a good civil war in Westeros plot that lasts a couple episodes, or maybe they could fight a wizard who wants to blow up the sun. They could go around Westeros and Essos collecting 4 magic elemental crystals that they need to unite together for something. Maybe defeat the wizard trying to blow up the sun or something. But no, it's just, my son's gonna be the king. No, I want my son to be the king. Oh, but I'm just a woman and I can never be the king. And no, it's so fucking lame. If I had watched this show before having ever watched A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I would not have stuck it out this long. I would have been more hostile to the material from the get-go. And so a lot of these things that I'm finding to be a bit of a drag would have probably caused me to have noped out by now. And so I've gotten this far into this first season based purely on the forward momentum provided by how good A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms was. Hearing the general public say that season 2 was even weaker than this season, it depends on what they have going on in it. I'm just so tired of this family politics shit. I never watched Dynasty as a child. That was just one of those shows you kind of know about from the zeitgeist, but I'm kind of wondering how this stacks up with that, or is this more like your Wuthering Heights Downtown Abbey shit, but with dragons in it? There's no telling. I'm doing my best to crank through at least the rest of this season before deciding if I want to continue to go forward with both watching it and making videos reviewing it. Because everything I had to say about it has been said. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It'd be great if it was based on better source material than this, or if they had just found a nice linchpin middle point for all this family drama and just zoned in on that time and didn't have all these massive time jumps between episodes and all that kind of stuff. That's also kind of a bit of a drag, I find. They're introducing love interests and killing them off within barely an episode distance of their being introduced, and it makes it kind of hard to care for some of these characters that you haven't really seen for very long. They're just in and out, and it's still basically the Viserys, Daemon, and Rhaenyra, the princess. It's basically their show, and that might not be enough to go on. I don't know how they can keep dragging it out using the same actors past a certain point. Who would play Daemon as an old man? Chris Elliott? In many ways, this show is almost the polar opposite of what Knight of the Seven Kingdoms was, in terms of a nice, compact story about relatable characters doing relatable things, where the Targaryens are mostly bad guys. This is a sympathy for the devil show. Like, none of these people are good. Viserys is a weakling. Daemon and Rhaenyra are both villains in the making. Daemon already is a villain. He doesn't even have to be made into one. Maleficent is... and her dad being back to being the hand of the king again. Could they just please do something interesting instead of just arguing about who's going to be the king in another generation? Could they hurry up and let Viserys die so we can get whatever the conflict is underway? That sounds like a more interesting show than this full season build-up to something that they'll probably resolve within 2 episodes, and then it'll be more about, like, whose great-grandchild of Viserys is going to be the king, and I guess that there must be people out there who are into that sort of thing. And as a side project book that was just giving you a little bit more detail about something in a larger series of novels, I'm sure it was fine. But to have made a whole goddamn TV show out of it. And now, of course, the news is broken in the last 24 hours that Paramount has successfully made a bid to buy Warner Brothers, which includes HBO. And already people are out there wringing their hands over what this might mean. Now, HBO is already a premium network. As long as they continue to perform and bring in the viewers, HBO itself, as a sub-company within this large umbrella of media companies, should probably be fine. To me, the real danger of Paramount, Skydance, to be more specific, acquiring Warner Brothers and Warner Media is CNN, obviously, and also the potential influence they might have on the Discovery Channel and related cable networks that purport themselves as educational. Not that they're all that terribly great educational anyway. These are the same channels that went out there and convinced a bunch of idiots that megalodons and mermaids are real because they decided to have fake documentaries about mythological creatures on a network that's supposed to be about non-fictional subjects. I guess I could at least now make my video on what Republican Harry Potter will be now that corporate allies of Trump and the Republican Party now control HBO. What are they going to do to that poor Harry Potter show? I guess Harry Potter will be a straight-laced, obviously Caucasian kid. They'll keep that intact. From an intact nuclear family who doesn't practice witchcraft or the occult. He just goes to Sunday school, and he's vowed to stay celibate until he gets married one day, and maybe play some soccer or something, or like some Little League football. There you go, Republican Harry Potter. Isn't that going to be fun? At least you know there aren't going to be any trannies in it. I guess that's enough about all that. Be sure to check the link in the description box below for a link to my page on DriveThruRPG so you can see one of the 70 role-playing game books that I have written. If I'm out here criticizing House of the Dragon and its terribly long, boring plot lines about who gets to marry whom and who's going to sit on the throne, when we already know what the ultimate outcome of all of this is because we've all seen Game of Thrones, well, if I'm going to be complaining about that, at least I have skin in the game. There's plenty of products out there that I've written that you can get and judge for yourself if you think that I'm being too judgmental. And otherwise, hit like and subscribe, ring the bell, hype the video, give me all of your goddamn money right now. And until next time,
stay waspinated.